Welcome back to Tabletop Assault. I'm Ross, and today I'm going to have a first look at Vashtorr The Arkifane. I think I've pronounced that right, I'm not entirely sure. What we now can see is his rules, which I will go over, and also give you a little bit of a first impression of what I think of him. First up is Vashtorr's stats. So one thing I didn't get was his points. I haven't seen that yet at this juncture. So that'll be something that will need to be revealed. So it's a little bit more hard to tell how good he will be or how much value you get out of him. He is going to be, I believe, a power level of 13, so that gives you a rough estimate of points. But he will be an HQ choice. So his movement is deteriorating between 12, 10 and 8, so quite fast and does deteriorate 2 inches at a time, which is fine. Weapon skill 2+, bliss skill 3+. The bliss skill not really a big concern, you'll find that out later. Strength and toughness 7, which is a little bit... I suppose it's fine. I mean, you'll see his strength later. And for his points, if he's going to be power level 13, then being toughness 8 might be a bit much. Even the Demon Primarchs, few of them are toughness 8. I think it's only Mortarion. Wounds 14, which is a little bit low, especially if you are going from the juncture of being below 10 wounds. You really want to up them up a wee bit, but 14 wounds, interesting. Deteriorating attacks from 7, 6 and 5, which is okay, and leadership 9 with 2+ save. Now on to his attacks with Vashtorr's Claw, which is 12 inches, assault d6, strength 5, AP -2 and damage 1. This does auto hit. Vashtorr's Hammer, which is melee, strength double, AP -2, damage 3. Quite nice that, damage 3 is reliable and high strength at 14. But the also added part is unmodified wounds of 5+ on vehicles cause 4 mortal wounds, not in addition. Warp Strike come in from reserves 9 inches away from your opponents. Body of Unholy Artifice, which is a 4-up invul and -1 damage. And in the command phase, choose one of these abilities to apply. I think we saw something like this on Angron, so maybe that's something we might see more of, which is in the command phase you get to choose an ability rather than having so many of them, which I don't know how I feel on that one. I suppose that offers variety. Unholy Mechanisms, select one Traitorous Astartes Demon Engine, except characters, aircraft or Titanic within 3 inches, +1 to hit until next command phase. Ghost in the Machine, select one enemy vehicle within 18 inches and visible, half range of weapons in that unit until next command phase. Agonized Machine Spirits, select one enemy vehicle within 18 inches and visible, half move and attack characteristics of models in that unit, which I kind of really like that one. I think that's quite good. And then Warlord trait, Lord of Terror, Chaos. It's in the Chaos Codex, which is an aura 6 inches. Enemies take a morale, roll an additional d6, discard lowest, and unit is considered half strength for combat attritions. And some keywords he has is Heretic Traitorous Astartes, Monster, Fly, Demon, and he is an Agent of Chaos. After looking at the stats, I want to give you a little bit of my thoughts on the model on a whole. So, when it comes to the model itself, I don't really like it. I like the wings and the weapon, but I just hate the hate, and especially the body. Just something with it doesn't gel with me. I guess that might be to people's taste. I suppose all models are in that way. But this one really doesn't scream out to me, and I'm a huge Chaos fan, so that's a bit disappointing. Stats, I feel at 14 wounds allowing him to be targeted, but may result in early death, as we see with Demon Primarchs, or even things with lesser amounts, so difficult. I suppose it's quite good when you have the 4-up invul and -1 damage. In terms of weapons, I believe that the range should have been damage 2 for more effect. I think on a character like that, when it's just damage 1, it's going to be killing mostly chaff. It's random amount of shots as well. So it's not like it's a guaranteed 6 shots auto-hitting, so you're just rolling to wound. It's random amount of attacks, it's okay strength, okay AP, but real low damage. So I feel that damage could have been a bit higher. Or maybe even have been 2d6 amount of shots would have been better, and then you could have kept the damage 1. Melee, I feel like, will be a nightmare for Knights, and Astra Militarum generally make heavy armies, but against Tyrannids, this is going to be lackluster. It's not going to do anything. And I suppose if you look at a lore point, yeah, that probably should be the case. Sometimes you do need to have units like this that fulfill that sort of area where they have a targeted area, because that's how their lore works out. But when it comes to gameplay wise, yeah, it's going to be good against vehicles, but it's going to be very situational on what your opponent brings. Abilities, 4-up invul and -1 damage is really quite good. I think that's excellent. It's going to keep him going quite a bit longer, especially at 14 wounds. So that might make him a little bit more of a pain to bring down. I believe his buff abilities should affect Titanic abilities, Titanic vehicles, just because it is 3 inches, so it has to be quite close. It's just one of those ones I just feel, yeah, if you're bringing a module like this, depending on what his point cost is going to be, it should maybe target Titanic as well. But then again, a Titanic getting all pluses to it, that might be a bit much, but difficult to say. I really do think it should have targeted Titanic. And Agnes, I do believe that one will be quite useful. The one that reduces the move and the amount of attacks, I believe it was. That one I think would be quite good. It is an 18-inch one, so it can really hamper a vehicle getting across the field, which is quite good. Or you could have the range as well if you think something's going to be targeting something in your backfield. You could stop them if you are in range. I suppose they might actually switch their targets to Vashtorr then. Anyway, what do I think overall? I am not personally sold on him. I would probably go towards Demon Prince if we're looking at it this way. I suppose Demon Prince was under the 10 wounds, so it's not targetable, and I know there's certain builds on them that can make them quite dangerous, and they do offer a good buff in terms of rerolls, etc. So I'm just in that area where I'm like, cool, am I missing something? I know some of the other guys, David especially, is a little bit more sold on him than me, and so maybe I'm missing something. But really, I think if he was at 9 wounds, there would be a lot more interest I'd find from him, and he is quite tall, so it seems unlikely he wouldn't be targetable. I don't know if you could entirely justify that, but I'm just not too sure entirely. Yep, I've not got the new Demon Prince yet if I had to choose between them, and certainly when it comes to model look as well, I'm a bit more sold on that than I am on Vashtorr. And that is it for my first look at Vashtorr the Arkifane. Was I a bit, a wee bit harsh on him? Should I have been, is there something I'm missing on that? I think overall it's going to be a certain look for some people that are going to really enjoy it. I think if we're going to go down Dark Mechanicus wise, if that ever got expanded in the future, definitely a cool model for them. For Chaos Space Marines, I don't know. It just doesn't quite gel with me, but that's just my thoughts. Anyway, please comment, share, like and subscribe. What do you guys think? Is he an auto take? Is he just one that's okay? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again, and we'll see you on our Tabletop Assault Battle Reports.